Hello YouTube, it's time to refreshen up my hair. So the first thing I'm going to do today is wash it. I was actually planning to do this for the very first time, so that's apple cider vinegar. I got really excited because I found it at the shop and I was like, yay, I can use it. And then after I bought it and I was ready, and then I sort of watched a few YouTube videos to figure out how to use it, and it turns out I need baking soda to do it, so not today. I just didn't know that. Anyway, lesson learnt. So I'll buy baking soda and maybe in the next few weeks I'll try that. And then, so it will just be a regular wash. So there we go, my hair is washed. I'm using this large cotton material to dry my hair. There's lots of awesome benefits, but as you may have noticed, I not only use this material to dry my hair, but I often wear them as well. I'll talk about that later in another video. So I'm going to try using the coconut oil. So it's really hot here and my coconut oil is turned into liquid, which I wasn't quite sure what to do with that, but I decided to just grab the first spray bottle that I could find and put the coconut oil through there and spray it through my hair to get a bit of moisture. So I went ahead and sprayed basically from root to tip, trying to get as much moisture in there as I can. I'm planning to do quite a lot of manipulation today, so I want to make sure that my hair is nice and fortified. I'm really keen to see how this coconut oil works for me, but stick with me and we'll find out. Anyway, so I'm going to start with retightening my hair. I'm going to start with putting the hair in a ponytail so that I don't miss any. I actually really like this look. I think it looks quite cute actually. So I've got these wool needles. They're blunt, so they're blunt needles. Never use sharp items in your head, with a rather large opening on the other side, and basically I'll show you how I retighten. I think I already did this in another video, but I'll do it again just because I can't remember if I did. So basically I use the wool needle, I put the hair through the needle, there you go, put a lock through the needle, just like that, and then I put the needle through the new growth. So my basic approach is to go front, side, back, side again. This is, I guess, because all the locks are a different length and every time you retighten you've got a different amount of new growth, so you're never going to actually go through the same number of times every time. And what I've noticed sometimes, the last time I go through there's not enough new growth and I only realize at about this stage, and I get here and I think, oh, it's a bit tight. Which is exactly what happened with this one. Too tight, that's my too tight face, and it happens really commonly for me, and I think I just really struggle with gauging the amount of new growth on that last go through. Hopefully I'll get better, but it's been almost 5 years. You'd think I'd get better by now. There's a part of me that probably really likes the tight feeling. It reminds me of when I used to get box braids. It makes me feel like I've got freshly done hair. Anyway, so here's another go just to show you. I did a bit better this time and didn't sort of get it really tight. All right, you don't want to watch all of this, so let me show you. I'm almost finished. I have got one left, but I came to tell a quick story. So usually I own the metal wool needles and the plastic ones. I usually prefer the plastic ones, and then I keep the metal ones as extras, but I've completely lost my plastic ones. I have no idea where they are. I travel with them. Sometimes I chuck some in my purse, and when I have lock pedals, I chuck them in my purse in case one of them falls out to repair it. So somewhere in the process I've lost all of them and I was left with one. And today when I was retightening my hair, I got about halfway through and I dropped it down the couch and I've completely lost it, and so I was like, I'm halfway through, I want to get done. But luckily I'd recently just watched a video on retightening with safety pins, which I couldn't find, and this is the one I found under the cupboard, inside, underneath everything else. There was just this one safety pin to the rescue. So I also get to do a review of retightening with safety pins because this was the very first time I've ever done it. So I'll just retighten this last one for you. So basically you just put the safety pin in and close it, and then you push this way so that the hair doesn't get caught in anything. Let's see, there we go. you go, all done. So a couple comments about the safety pins. So one, this is probably the gentlest retwist I've ever had. So usually with my retwist it's always a little bit too tight, and that's just because as you're going and you're sort of going in one side, in the other, and then as you're pulling it through you think, oh no, that was a bit too tight, but it's kind of too late, and so my hair is always a little bit on the too tight side. But the safety pin, because it's so much bigger, when I get to the end, it just refuses to go through the undergrowth that's left, so it's a bit of a looser retightening, which is really awesome. So that's the one plus about the safety pin. The negatives about the safety pin that I found, one, I think it took me a little bit longer because you had to keep closing and opening it every time. And then the other thing is the ends of my hair are really uneven, and they're very different. So I've got the few that literally look like braids. So these are all just plain loose braids. So if I put a safety pin through that, it just undoes itself. I've got some really good ones, sort of really solid. Like this is a very solid lock at the end of that, and if I put a safety pin through that, it doesn't really do anything. It's nice and solid. I've got some other ones that are just very loose and very sort of loose locks, and so putting safety pins through that is just, I feel I was a bit uncomfortable with that to my hair. It was only because I was kind of halfway through and really wanted to get it done. The other thing I noticed is when you're pulling through, so when I use my needle, when I'm pulling at the hair, when I'm pulling it through, I'm pulling the whole thing through, but this way, because the safety pin is going through, when I'm pulling a section of the lock, and I really didn't enjoy that. And the other thing I was really nervous about when I put the needle through, I was really scared that my hair would go into these curls and I'd have to into the sort of the bendy bit of the safety pin. But there you go, it was a little bit of an adventure in interlocking my hair today, but it is now all locked. There we go. I really like it. I'm really happy. I love that. So what I can do now that I really love is I can just do a quick ponytail. It just really looks neat really easily, and I really like that. It's all a bit less effort.